Hello, artists. I was entering the school this morning and I walked by something super wintry magical growing right outside our school, right by the playground. If you look closely, you're thinking, Miss Hunt, what is that? Well, artists, let me tell you, this is part of a yew tree, Y-E-W tree, and it is a pine tree. See the needles? And in the winter, when it starts to get really cold, the yew tree starts to create these red berries. You might have seen them before. It is in a lot of winter themes. And so today I'm going to show you how to create your own just out of paint. You don't have to do it out of paint if you don't want to. That's okay. If you have paint, you can do it out of paint. Color mixing paint to get the colors we need magically and wonderfully. And believe it or not, cardboard. Let me show you what I mean. All right, artists, I have a white sheet of paper and I have my branch nearby. So as an artist, I can look at what I'm making to make a really nice version of it myself. And I see that it's on the stem, the piece I got. There's red berries and there's these green needles coming off the edge, almost like a diagonal line. What you'll need is some brown paint, green paint or yellow and blue, and some red. Now, I have lots of cardboard at the school. I also know that you can find cardboard near you. But if you don't so happen to have cardboard, you can always just get something thin. And when I hold it to the side, it can make a thin line. When I dip these into my paint, I'm going to use the shorter side. I also have a Q-tip to make little dots for my berries. But if you want to use your pointer finger, that's okay too. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the stem with my brown paint. I'm going to dip the shorter side of my cardboard into my brown paint. I want to dip it into the short side because the long side is going to make it so I can hold it with my fingers. And the shorter side is not too big to fit into my paint container. The very end of one of the sides of my paper, I'm going to start to create my branch. But when I stamp down, when I just push down, I'm not dragging like a paintbrush, I'm just sitting it down and hopping up, I will create a line. And if I keep on stamping this down, my line will grow and grow. And I could go ahead and I could make little branches off the edge of mine. I could make a little Y and even make little branches after that. And be careful not to fill it up too much because we have other things we need to put there. Set this on the edge of your tray. If you have green paint already, that's great, but something that's really fun is color mixing. So I have yellow and blue, and when I mix them together, when I stir it up, it's gonna change to make the color green. The more blue you add to your yellow, the darker green you're gonna get. The less blue, the more vibrant and brighter of the green. Go. So my needles, like we said earlier, grow off of the branch and they look like they're at a diagonal and they're attached to the branch. They're not way over here, way over there. They're right against my branch. I'm going to stamp that down until I fill the whole thing up. If your pine needles kind of overlap each other, that's a-okay. If you feel like you're running out of paint, just go ahead and dip it back in to get more. Be careful not to push too hard on your cardboard because you could end up bending your cardboard. All right, artists, we have one last thing, and that is our red berries. You can use your finger or a Q-tip, and you're just gonna get its toes a little wet by dipping it into the red paint. Now my branch has a lot of berries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could add more, you could add less. Remember, we're not dragging, we're just hopping to make our little dots. All right, artists, when you're all done, if it's paint, let it dry. But remember, it doesn't have to be paint. It could be out of something else. You can make these lines even with a ruler or just by eyeballing it, up to you. But I'm just so excited that we have a yew tree so close to us. And if you by chance come to the school at all to go on the playground or anything, I recommend you check it out. My artists, have a wonderful rest of your day. If you make this, feel free to send it to me so I can put it in the art gallery if that's okay with you. And have a wonderful winter season.